Well,
Here we
some days,
go.
oh,
Some days it works, and we are live. Thank you all for tuning in. This is Chandra, and we have today Miss Erica Beal of Aviv. I'm so excited to talk to her. She is leading the way. It's one of the powerhouses in the government contracting space. So, will my children let us finish this interview? I have one who's wide awake. So let's get into it. Erica, thank you so much for joining us today.
well, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here with our veteran community and proud of you as well.
Oh,
You're pretty.
thank you. Thank you. Uh, okay, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure, sure. So my name is Erica Beal. I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Aviv. We're a professional services company, and what we do is we have a really strong commitment to our veteran community. I'm a military spouse for about 22 years, and it's really the heart of our program. We go out and we recruit, we train, we mentor, and then we hire them so that the transitioning veterans and military spouses have a career with our company. And some of the roles that we support are professional services in construction management, project management, material management, and general contracting. So that's a little bit about the business, and we're just really excited that this is an opportunity for us to grow in this space.
Oh, excellent. And I'm going to humble brag on you a little bit. Since you started, you've had phenomenal growth, and 75% of your workforce, minorities, women, LGBTQIA, folks, veterans, military spouses, veterans who are military spouses, and those that need second, third, fourth chances. Really, really amazing. Switching gears, when you founded Aviv, how did you know that it's hard for a lot of companies to take a chance on someone who needs a third or fourth chance? What was your criteria or method in selecting your employees? Because they've contributed to Aviv so wonderfully in the last year.
Yeah, yeah. And I will say, a little bit background about Aviv. Aviv is a Hebrew word and it means growth. And everything about the business that we developed was very intentional. We're intentional with the name, with the brand. We're intentional with our people and our leadership. And, we focus around a servant leadership philosophy, but it's also the core of the business model. And in the industry that we're in, we're very focused in the energy, utilities, water, transportation. It's a regulated industry. It's an industry that is a very tough market to get into. And so when you come out with a progressive model that we have, which is really focused around the people and the investment of them, and giving those individuals that second chance, maybe they may have made a mistake or had a bad situation, and saying, I'm going to take a step and really start over and train you the right way, and also have a collaborative environment where we're serving you and understanding what you're good at while also serving the clients. It's disrupting the industry a little, right? But it is
right.
This approach has been very successful, and it's a competitive factor. So you asked the question, where are we finding the talent and how are we giving these people the tools to be successful? It starts with your own communities. I have a pretty big network in the veteran community, being a military spouse for as long as I have. I'm a mother, just like you.
Right.
And my children go to school, and there's talent right then and there. I will say 2 of our top leaders I met through my children, my sons. And they happen to be very qualified individuals looking for careers. And I said, please come into this industry. Let me give you some tools and learn in this industry. And they're just excelling. And so I just encourage you that sometimes businesses out there don't have to go that far to find good talent. It's in your own circles and circles of other friends.
No, that is phenomenal, and I'm sure that some people that are listening are like, oh, I didn't even think about uh, the parents at my children's school. So, you were in, corporate or the energy sector for several years before before launching Aviv. When did you decide to launch Aviv? What was the turning point?
Well, there were two significant events in my life that changed this approach and this new way of living, is what I say. The first one was the lifestyle that I'm married to. I'm married to an active duty Navy SEAL, and very early on in the marriage, I realized the complexities when the first year, or 365 days, he was here 50 days, if that. And the days that he was here, he was gone. Fast forward to now, we've been married over 16 years, and you look at it and you say, gosh, I survived it. And as he's looking at his career and ready to retire, I said, gosh, this is my time. I said, this has been a passion. I studied entrepreneurship, finance, my MBA, and I've always wanted to start a business. Do I have your support? We served you. I still have a family. And I did have the support for him. So that was a sacrifice I made during that time, with him. That was a big life-changing event that really kind of pushed me to come to where we are now. And the second thing, this is very dear, and people that know me, is I'm a very family is everything in my business. I was raised in a biracial family. My mother was Mexican, my father was white Anglo, and very strong into the family being the center. And I had a very good relationship with my father, and so much so that when he came to visit, we would do walks and trips. And unfortunately, my father, very early in his career, got sick, was diagnosed with cancer, and we fought the battle and lost. When you go through a life-changing event like that, you really take a step back. And I knew then that I wanted to do something very significant with life. So those were two major turning points. One bittersweet, and one that continues to challenge me to do these things. So that was.
Yeah. Oh no, thank you for sharing, and I'm sure your father would be honored at how well you're doing, since he is one of the inspirations for you launching Aviv. So, you mentioned it is a challenge in the industry. You guys are being disruptive, and there's not a whole lot of. I've been doing some research. There's not a whole lot of women leaders or entrepreneurs in the energy industry. Did you find any barriers to entry when you were starting?
Yes, extremely. And the barriers that I started are barriers here today. Number one is just getting the opportunity, right? You hear a lot about access to capital, and you need strong financials. And in our industry, they want to see that you're able to take the risk that you can. When you're looking at contracts in the industry or partnering, you have to be able to carry multi-million-dollar bonding, please. And as a new business, that's a challenge, that's a struggle.
Right.
Individuals, the first leaders on your team that you put in, because the brand, that's another challenge. You might have a vision, somebody else can take it a different way. Safety. I have to tell you, in our line of business, it is the number one factor, and you have to have a proven track record. As a new business, I don't have those numbers when I first started, so I just had to start very, very, very small and take anything I could to show and get active and report my numbers as safety on me individually and every single personnel I had, to get into a number where I can now be in the system to record it. These are all very strong barriers, but essential in our industry. They're not going away. It just takes time and a lot of delivery and executing in that type of space. So it's an industry that doesn't happen overnight. Let's just say that, right?
Right. Right. And you hit the nail on the head in terms of like safety. You know, if there's anyone interested in going into energy, you have to know OSHA
Oh yeah.
backwards and forwards. OSHA, for those that are listening, is a standard for safety requirements in certain environments, to include industrial environments. So yeah, no, I mean, I think it's great that you were able to take on those smaller projects to show, to start developing that history of performing at a level that's required in terms of meeting safety standards. So we already talked to some of the barriers of entry within the energy sector. What can you say to some women entrepreneurs that may be getting a little bit discouraged in terms of when they're trying to find, financing or funding to launch their business?
The one thing I always share is experiences that happen to me. And the best way to start in this network and in this business is by partnering. I would say the recipe to success is to understand that you're not going to do it all alone, and you're going to have to team up with others. Some of those are other current contractors that are in right now, and that can carry some of those requirements for you. What kind of happens is if you're prime any subcontractor you work with and you sub out to, they also have to carry that risk and report those safeties and those numbers. So by partnering with them, somebody like me who was a newer business in this industry, I'm able to come in and have a mentor protege in a sense. They're not necessarily, all of them are, but be able to take those calculated risks and get going, right? Get in the momentum and have that prime overlook the work and ensure that we're meeting the qualifications that are required in the contractual obligations. So my biggest advice there is considering partners. I am being a because the ultimate goal is ensuring that and safe. So those are some of the things that people would do that are looking at the industry and how to get started. Is look who's in the industry already, and how can
No, that's a very good point. Just getting started, and it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Just get started, and I think a lot of folks are trying to have like that perfect situation, and it doesn't need to be everything exactly, the way it should be. Your business is going to evolve anyway, so.
That is true. That's true.
So, you mentioned, family is everything to you. How do you balance work and family life?
The truth is there's no such thing as balance. I know that others might disagree with me and say, I balance. You're going to have to make choices and sacrifices in life. And sometimes you might not be at every single event as an entrepreneur and business owner. And yes, it stings a little, but hey, thanks to technology now, right? We're able to record and see things.
Right.
Some of the things that I do that have really helped me is making a priority for yourself and putting it in your calendars. I feel like even more so now, our cell phones, we live and die by them. They tell us where to go, when to start, when to stop. But they can also be a tool for you to put time on there to say, you know what, I need this time to myself. I need that balance. I will share with you that I am not the best at fitness, but I commit to at least 3 to 4 times a week, 20 minutes. you have to do those things. It's on my calendar. So people will say, hey, can we meet at this time? And I said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm already committed. You don't have to tell them what you're doing. That commitment is to myself. And it's those kind of things that you have to create these behaviors and these changes for yourself to be able to get that balance that you need in life.
No, thank you. I am taking notes because I am guilty of putting fitness on the back burner. Oh, I have to, insert task for child, insert task for work, insert task for anything else other than working out for 15, 20 minutes.
It's a walk, or it's even like mental sanity. We're so intense. We're going, and we've got family, and we've got husband, and we've got dinner, we've got COVID. It's like we're here,
right? Right. So, another thing is, how do you, have you ever approached burnout, and what did you do to, kind of turn that around?
Oh, yes. Let's see. You just got to, for me, it's about having a really good partner, and that partner is my husband, and really communicating, making time to communicate, right? I feel like we're finally in the marriage point where we're like, hey, let's talk this through. Of course, it doesn't always go that smoothly, but having that support system, whatever it is going to help you with your burnouts. And there are times you just got to walk away, and you have to shut down the phone, you just shut down the TV, shut down the kids, and just say, I'm not going to do it. And that's okay. It's okay. It's your time. It's your life. And we need refueling. We need that recharging. I mean, we're going and going and going. And I feel like even now, so we're working more and harder.
Right.
So having the accountability and partners, whether it's a husband, whether it's your mother, your father, your friend, whether you have to hire somebody, that's okay, and even a dog. I mean, we have a dog that's sitting here on my feet. Look at him, because he knows he has to go for a walk afterwards. So I just, it's very realistic. It's normal. It's okay. It's just have those things come back and just game on again.
Right. So how has COVID impacted your business?
I have to say, we started in September of 2019, very excited and motivated when I left the industry. And then COVID shook us. And I just with so many other entrepreneurs and small businesses, go, how am I going to do this? How are we going to do this industry? And I cried, and I go, I need to start somewhere. So I realized what COVID did do is it taught anybody who's surviving it the importance and leveraging things, tools, or technology that you weren't doing before, and embedding that as part of it became now a priority. Whereas before we would say, oh, for example, social media, why is that important? It's just out there. People are just talking about whatever's important. No, it's business. Right. So now invest in social media because as a new business, we want to share our brand. I want to share who this team is. Right? Well, I can't go meet with anyone. I have to use, LinkedIn. I have to use Instagram, Facebook. I have to get advocates to share with them. This is what we're about. And just if you would just entertain or listen to what we're trying to do in this industry, you'd see where we're going. And COVID really opened my eyes to leveraging technology, making it a significant factor, moving it on the top of our business, and investing in that. So I would say I'm actually thankful for it now, because it's opened opportunities for us. It really has. We've been able to capitalize on that area.
Right. I think it forced a lot of businesses into utilizing social media in a way that they hadn't explored before. And for some that were successful with it, it's opened up quite a bit more opportunities for excellence. Has the vision for your business changed since you started?
That's a good question, because the vision, like I said before, being intentional about our brand and who we are and where we're going. We're built on a certain leadership philosophy. We have a very strong concentration on the veteran community with veteran hiring and military members. So that's pretty much stayed the same. The difference is it's expanded. When you focus on something, and you know this is the vision where you want to go, everything's open up. Like, for instance, last year towards the end of the year, I said, I have this goal. I want to, create and facilitate these opportunities for members in our community. And so we created our own internal program called Impact Now. And by starting that, I started having conversations with Department of Defense. We heard about Skill Bridge, right? Where it's an opportunity of transitioning veterans that are looking to get into the workforce. It's a training, right? So they sponsor them up to 3-6 months, and they're real-time experience in that industry they want to go into. And then afterwards, we can, hire them and provide a job. So we got, by being very focused on the vision of where we wanted to do and go, we were able to develop two new partnerships with our focused concentration in the veteran community. So right now we are a partner with the Department of Defense, the Skill Bridge program, and most recently, the U.S. Chamber, the Hiring Our Heroes, military spouses. So we're just really excited to stay focused on it and expand into these areas so that we can bring really good talent into this new industry of the energy and utility for transitioning veterans in our community, and show them that, hey, you can have careers outside of here, of the industry you are in.
No, that is exciting. And for some folks that aren't as familiar, with the energy industry, there are so many things businesses can do to contribute to better energy. No worries, better energy services all around.
My dog.
How did
sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. At least you're not wearing like, smiley face pajama bottoms or what are going back a little bit. I know my son wants to say some words too. Going back a little bit, how did you determine like what specifically you wanted to focus on within the energy space, since there's so many things you can do?
There really is. When you look at the utility and the energy sector and the water, it's the whole development of the project from start to finish. There are EPC models, right? And I knew while the core construction is very exciting to get into, the barriers are more extensive than professional services. So I said, I'm going to wait off on that one. The core engineering, to stamping of that, the risk, just the investment to start a business is like $1 million, right? Well, I didn't want to go borrow $1 million and do, but I did know that, I came from the industry. I was a project manager. I was a program manager. I did procurement for many years. I did some auditing. I did special projects, and I loved it, right? I love that type of business. Critical component to the development of these capital projects. So naturally, when I left and I said, when I developed this business, what I want to do, I wanted to provide those same type of services that I know I could train individuals and people that maybe weren't in this space, but wanted a really good career. And they wanted succession planning within themselves. And I could give them great jobs, great training, and just get enriched and make energy exciting, right? And so it was a natural fit. So, one of our first hires, they had never done procurement. They had a JD background and a PMP. And I said, "You're going to learn this. This is going to be exciting." And they go, "Wow, I didn't even know about this." Right. And they're excelling. They're leading the whole program and training other individuals. So I wanted to have a business model where it was going to provide so much opportunity for talent that maybe hadn't even considered the industry, and also a growth succession planning, right? Because coming from a big corporation, I loved it. But what I did notice is I wanted to have a company where the harder you work, the more you learn, the more credentials, the more certifications, you get a very nice plan on how to get to the next level. And so that's what we're doing here. And it's just project managers, engineers, professional contract management. They're thriving in this industry, and they're hungry to learn. And I'm learning too, still with them.
Right.
So
No,
it's a great industry. I just love energy right now. It's exciting.
I get so pumped up by your energy and your passion for energy. Um, what and I also, that is definitely a different way of managing people. At the corporate jobs that I've had in the past, no one really honed in on succession planning from a personal standpoint. So I think that's also another reason why you have had so much success, is because you've invested in your people, and they recognize that you genuinely invested in them, not as a, hey, we invested, check the block, right?
Right.
So what's on the horizon for Aviv 2021, 22, and beyond?
Well, definitely it's to keep going and continue to serve the contracts we have today, our clients and partners, and grow together. It's very important that when you have opportunities and partners, that you continue to strengthen those partnerships and grow those. So that's definitely the number one. And then the second thing is we're expanding. We have an office here in San Diego. We have an office in New Jersey. We want to be a national provider, and we want to be perceived as that. And we're investing heavily on the East Coast. We just got awarded another project. Technology.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Technology is so critical in business, and I feel like the one thing that we want to look at when we're looking at the transmission and distribution sector is really to talk about those integrated solutions. And what's really exciting right now is smart meters. You've heard of AMI and the change out. We're going 5G, eventually 6G. Being ahead of that and already starting to do projects in that space, the future of EV, looking at the infrastructure of that and the installation of these new meters, looking at projects in microgrids and how to take that energy from the meters and share it and dissect it. That's where we're going. We're going to continue to grow our veteran and military spouse hiring program. We're looking to really help bring process improvements for a lot of our contractors, right? So we've got a very strong material management system, and we're able to provide traceability. And we want to take that platform and really help be a leader and a thought partner to our contractors so they can have savings, and then they can also have important that they're monitoring and protecting their safety as well. So these are the technology advances that we're investing in our business that we believe are going to just once again put us as a really good partner and a competitive thought partner as well.
No, that's phenomenal. Thank you. And I could talk your ear off all day and ask you all about your expansion planning and everything else, but I won't, because I know you're busy and we're coming up at the end of our interview time. So what final words would you like to leave our audience today who are considering entrepreneurship, who may be struggling in the energy space? What would you say to them?
First thing is start small. I just feel like people ask me, how do you define success? Everybody has their own way to define it. Don't compare what you define success as someone else, and celebrate the smallest wins. A win doesn't mean that you have to get a contract, okay? Celebrate a win if somebody returns my phone call. Startup, okay? You okay, we have a second meeting, we have a third meeting. And it's so important. Honor your commitments. Back to the partnerships. That's how I got started. I honor my partners. I thank them. I go back to the clients. I recognize them. This is a partnership. I want to only grow it. I want to grow together. Value those partnerships, recognize them, honor the commitments, and celebrate the smallest wins and successes. That's my motto with business, with right now in COVID too, right?
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Folks that are interested in following Erica's journey as she navigates Aviv, you can go check out her website. She's also on LinkedIn. Erica, thank you again so much for joining us. Your words of wisdom are going to help so many folks.
Well, thank you for having me. And I appreciate feedback as well. So if there's anyone out there that has some words of advice, interested in partnering, please reach out to me. We're in this together and be together. So thank you as well. This was fantastic. And hi to all the other mothers and babies out there.
All right. Thank you. And for everyone tuning in, we will see you at the next nap time next week. Take care.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, bye.